If you clicked on this video, then you probably know at least something about 2b2t or just Minecraft, but just in case, I'll give you a quick rundown because this is a very long video and I don't really want there to be any confusion. 2b2t is one of the oldest Minecraft servers, older than the Hypixel and Mineplex. It's a vanilla Minecraft server at its core, with the main premise being that there are no rules at all. Obviously with no rules there's going to be some backdooring, hacking, doxing, anything you can really think of. The server has a vast history and that's what got me interested in it to begin with. The fact that there's so much, from groups to players to massive events. Now that I've got the boring stuff out of the way, let's learn about 2b2t. This man right here is Hausmaster, the owner of 2b2t. He's quite an interesting man, and I think that if we got to know him a bit more, then the events that will follow will make a bit more sense. Hausmaster's first appearance online was when he created a Steam account in November of 2005 under the ID Spacehair. A few years later, he got invested into Team Fortress 2, becoming an active player and making an account on the 2Furious forums. 2Furious was a US hosted server which shut down in late 2012, with the community calling it a unique experience, with videos being posted to a 2F2F YouTube channel. UMG can't sue me because they sound like when you punch ocelots. The forum I mentioned before are now private or at the very least difficult to get access to, so my knowledge is very limited. Because of this, I decided to ask the community some questions. What was the server like in your opinion?
Very cool, because we played a lot of experimental and in-development maps, had some legit great players, map makers, and we had a cool music request system, sound clips, and karaoke nights.
For me, the 2F2F server was Team Fortress 2. It was a shining example of what a community built around a dedicated server was in the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Amazing! Lots of maps, rotation in Valve and community stuff, attracted the finest minds.
What did you think of the 2F2F community?
The greatest and most influential TF2 community that has ever existed by far, and one of the greatest and most influential server communities in general.
The community was very fun to play with and it had a unique sense of humour for the time, but it was also moderated to keep things from getting too out of control.
They also made it amazing. I made friends there over a decade ago and I still keep in touch with them.
I've seen claims that 2F2F is unlike any other servers. Is this true?
Yes, it's very true. The only ones that came close were the 2F2F spin-offs.
The server had a good rotation of maps that balanced vanilla-style competitive maps and gimmick maps to keep things from getting too old. The in-game audio system was like a combination between a soundboard and a jukebox that allowed players to play funny voice clips or music. Users with special privileges would have the ability to play that audio to the entire server, which often led to hilarity.
Karaoke, mapping contests, the in-game audio system, playtesting work-in-progress maps with the map makers, lots of other fun stuff. Yes, it was unlike any other server.
Since the server shut down, did you lose interest in Team Fortress 2 or move to other servers?
My time with TF2 continued for a little while afterwards, but not that long. Partially because of the loss of the community, the general attack on and demise of server-based communities, and also because Valve more or less destroyed the game by using it as a testbed for their more lucrative projects like CSGO and Dota 2.
After the shutdown, I tried playing on some other servers or matchmaking, but nothing came close to capturing the magic of 2F2F at its peak. By that time, many people in the community had moved on to other games or interests and gradually drifted apart.
I lost interest in playing Team Fortress 2 due to, in part, the server shutdown, but also the way Valve changed the game. I still read the comics when or if they come out.
You may be thinking, Cosmic, get to the point. Well, in 2Furious, Hausmaster would meet Kalash, who would invite Hausmaster to the Steam group Assassins, and then in August 2008, Kalash would be banned from 2F2F for exploits. This would lead to Haus creating the 2 Builders 2 Tools Steam group with the intent of hosting games for him and his friends to play, clearly stealing the name from 2F2F. This is where it would host the 2b2t Garry's mod server, an online sandbox server where players could muck around with plugins and mods. However, in December 2010, Haus would shut down the server due to disinterest and start hosting the 2b2t Minecraft server. Going into this video, I assumed that the general community was 4chaners and doxers. However, as I've done more research and spoken to community members, this isn't the case. I don't want to misportray the actual community, and so I thought it wise to mention this. I will be frank, doxing happens in the gaming space, and I will never support it. It's not a thing on 2B. Yeah, assholes will post shocking content on an unmoderated gaming server, but hate is not what you think it is. I think most of the racist comments are just kids. I don't think this is a major problem, but there definitely are some in the server. Doxing in any form is a major problem and it does happen on 2B. It's real, censorship has happened and it needs to stop. With that out of the way, here's the events of 2010 to 2011. At first, the server is only populated by players from the Gmod server. The spawn would be griefed mainly by creep explosions and lava casts, according to Pyromaniac.
So, in the first couple of days, most of the damage done to spawn was from creepers. There were a lot of mobs, pretty much wrecked straight away, lava casts, creeper holes everywhere.
The server was advertised on 4chan with video creating the swastika base showing the state of 4chan in 2011. On April 26th, Chezhead would join the server with two friends, Matty and Coolity. They would create a base together and advertise 2v2t on the Facepunch forums, leading to Chez becoming the leader of the Facepunch Republic. They would move out of the first base and into Camp Facepunch. Luke 2 the Barn on their altar camp would grief the camp and start a war between the 4chaners and Facepunch members of 2v2t. In July, the Piston Dupe would be discovered, leading to players using this glitch. A second 2v2t post is made to Facepunch saying that there is no Facepunch Republic, and then on July 29th, the Judge Holden would post the first two chapters of their 2v2t comic series. This comic series comes up a lot. I'm going to link in the description for everyone to check out. I'm not going to mention every chapter release, but they put a lot of effort into it and I enjoyed reading it. Zion would be built, known as the longest standing base of the Facepunch Republic. In September, construction would start on the Boat Murdered base, which was founded by Andrew Gill, and then in November, Pop Bob would grief Old Town, a base founded by the Judge Holden and Offtopia. Pop Bob would send a server plug to Hausmaster which would allow her to teleport, and then soon after, Passy Town, a town with many famous 2v2t players, would be griefed by Luke 2 the Bun, and then Plugin Town was founded by XCC2 and Pop Bob, mainly from the back door. Ziggy Base is constructed. Because of Pop Bob's backdoor, multiple bedrock structures are created, such as the Bedrock Dam and Bedrock Comet. Pop Bob also used the backdoor for hacked items and griefing, resulting in House either disabling or patching the plugin. The Facepunch Republic is officially over, with Phagocytic attempting to revive a republic. XCC2 records footage of House messing with lightning storms. In March of 2012, construction of 2K2K starts, a base housed by Phagocytic and the Facepunch Republic. Imperator finds Viking Base and turns it into his own base called Imperator's Base. April 1st, 2012, the first April Fool's map is released. Every 10 minutes the map is changed, with House spawning loads of mobs. What are your thoughts about the yearly April Fool's temporary maps? The April Fool's maps are always something to wonder about, as they are really random. However, this year there was none, and last year was pretty damn bad. They're a relic of a better time. House doesn't give a fuck anymore. The community also doesn't deserve it, to be fair. I haven't attended one since 2020, so I'm not sure how they are now. Depending on what I was in the middle of doing, I would either be interested or annoyed. I think they're cool, but House didn't do one this year, which is weird. I don't really remember it. This day I wasn't in-game, but I remember my friends sending screenshots and having a heart attack, which was funny. Phagocytic gave the coordinates of Zion to his friend Zarvia, and then Zarvia leaked them, leading to the base being griefed. You know, there's a lot of griefing, you gotta keep up. This ends with the Facepunch Republic moving to 2K2K, the base they talked about like 10 seconds ago, but you probably forgot. Hey look, it's May, and Hausmaster's being a sellout, asking for money to keep the server up. Imagine not having unlimited funds, just item dupe your money. Chris Layton and Snacky North are a pair of IRL friends who played on 2v2t together. At some point in June, Snacky North sends Chris's phone number to X0XP, and he is doxed soon after, with Chris leaving 2v2t forever.
I've heard doxing is a major problem on 2b2t. Do you think this is true?
Doxing is an issue on the server, but it's not as major as it used to be. House priority bans players that spread even fake doxing in chat. Yes, many of my friends got doxed, and I've heard that a 2v2t player threw a brick in another player's window IRL. Not really, people don't care. Like, sure you get people who are set out on finding who blew up their base, they dox them, but most people just move on. The Facepunch Republic collapses, with 2K2K holding the remaining members. X0XP and Pop Bob would try to backdoor the server again. which Ben Jojo would prevent. He then left the server because he believed the server was populated by neo-Nazis. 2K2K is soon griefed and lava casted. In October, the Crystal Islands are founded by Offtopia and 2 Australian users with the help of cytotoxic T-cell. In late 2012, Rick and Man spawns the first Wither, and then Shugun spawns the second one, and then the server is shut down for 3 months. It's February 2013 and the server is back up, and the lovely group known as Wood is founded by Coldwave, Zach3397 and Hinder JD. In March, Anatolia is founded by Sato86, Pyrobyte and Drew Bookman. On March 3rd, Dr. Zombie joins 2b2t and makes a video about it. Though on March 29th, the IP is changed from 2b2t.net to 2b2t.org. On April 29th, the two groups Wood and Anatolia merge into Valkyria and form a base with the same name. In May 2013, Kanorana introduces the 1.4.7 dupe to 2b2t. On May 11th, the End is re-enabled and the Ender Dragon is quickly slain. On June 1st, the first incursion begins. Valkyria abused the 1.4.7 dupe and abuse it to try and take over Spawn. 1 week later, it ends unsuccessfully. Then, in August, Valkyria would once again try and take over Spawn with the second incursion. Asgard begins construction in October, and soon after Shenandoah is founded by Jesse No. 6. In December, Interest and Pyrobyte develop a plugin that blocks access to the Nether roof. However, this backdoored the server and allowed the ability to spawn in hacked items including player heads and 32k level weapons, which are items with the enchantment level 32767. You could still reach the Nether roof if using a horse, and this was used to reach the world border. Pyrobyte used this plugin to spawn in his famous 666 sword, which is a sword with level 666 sharpness. The server is updated to 1.7.2. At some point in 2013, Captain Hardhat's pyramid both starts construction and finishes construction, but the specific dates are unknown. Yeah, that's 2013. Woo! I did it. In January, Pop-Bob is sighted in Asgard, leading to the base being abandoned. On March 12th, a temporary map was made, whilst they tried to fix lag issues on the server. 2014 April Fool's map was quite simple. The entire server was confined to a relatively small area, where 2 main factions tried to take over the map. This involved base building, gathering resources, and absolute destruction. This is documented in James's journal. The temp map ends on the 15th of May, becoming the longest running temporary map in the history of 2b2t. 2K is lava casted and loads of bases are destroyed by withers. Some of these bases were the NFE and Plugin Town. The Legion of Shenandoah is founded. In July, House creates a message to 2b2t.org forum. This states that he's leaving 2b2t and has given it to an anonymous friend. In August, Base gets griefed, and later that month, Noctorian griefs Snacky North's town. Fenrir is founded and loads of players move there after they return from 3b3t. This was a knockoff server while 2b2t tried to fix lag problems. There's a pretty cool Eiffel Tower, but it got burnt down. In December, Phoebes and Sound starts the Southern Canal project. This is a public canal which runs along the Z-axis, and on July 19th, 2020 it reached 300,000 blocks long. On December 15th, James Russell would make the first post to his blog. The date is unknown, but the -Z highway reached 1 million blocks. Hello, I'm Cosmic, but, well, in a video game. To your right is a mirror. Say hi to yourself. Hi YouTube viewer. Spread amongst this plane is the many events of 2b2t in 2015. Feel free to look around. My home, Fenrir, was abandoned in March. Its main builds were griefed, including the Eiffel Tower, which was burnt down. After this, I founded Asgard 2, a brand new project after Pop-Bob had found Asgard 1. The 2015 April Fool's map had an Islamic theme. During the event, I, Tristan, had backdoor access to create illegal items. The RAF outpost is built by Valkyria. It was a monument during the third incursion. Aureus City is started on the 31st of May and is built by many great players. So after these are James Russell's, Snacky North and Awesome Guy Monkey. I founded the King's Landing because of the incursions. This was an enormous base built far from spawn in hopes to prevent griefing. I, Tristan, leaked the coordinates in late October, leading to me and Silver Crown King griefing it before the others got to it. I am Coltsnit and I founded the Vortex Coalition with American Oreo. It's one of the most well-known groups and ended in March 2021 with me leaving the server.
In August, the project was started by the Vault Curator to recreate and preserve the many bases of 2B2T. It was delayed time and time again until Offtopia and Toma 54660 made their own server called the 2B2T Museum.
In October, Vice released an article about 2B2T. The journalist talked about the server and their experiences with it, calling it a fantastical world full of possibility and horror. In late 2015, Itris and Pyrobyte used a backdoor access to develop super weapons. These are weapons with level 32768 level enchantments that could one-shot any player. Obviously. Oh hey, that's a nice statue. Oh shit. In March of 2016, a bed2p exploit was discovered by Cartman and Talo112. How it worked was you placed a nether portal next to a bed and then go in the nether portal at night time. Before teleporting to the nether, sleep in the bed and you'll automatically leave the bed in the nether, but at the bed's overworld coordinates. This patch however was used for the grief of the LANs base within the same month it was discovered. The LANs was griefed by the group called The Tyranny, who are now known as Nerds Inc. 2016's April Fool's map was hosted on a separate server made by Spartan 512 and wasn't official. The whole purpose was to destroy a city adventure map. In April, Space Valkyria 2 and KGB were destroyed by the Tyranny. On June 1st, the Camping Russia posted its first video in its 2v2T series. This floods the server with new players. He declares a war on the OGs, starting the Russia War. On June 13th, Fit MC griefs a Russia sanctuary with Babbage and Java 2013. Fit becomes the leader of Team Veteran on June 16th, meant to combat the wave of new players from the Camping Russia. A 500 by 500 love war was made around Spawn to keep Russians trapped in Spawn. That was badly written. On June 17th, Team Veteran held a meeting to discuss the war. At the same time, Omega City is founded by Caviaz and was one of the biggest bases at the time. On June 22nd, Team Veteran griefs to Camping Russia's first base. It's July and Camping Russia visits the Crystal Islands and the base is griefed. On July 16th, the Valley of Wheat is griefed by Corrupted Yukon and the Resistance, although at the time it's believed to be the Camping Russia. On July 21st, the 2b2t WordPress is created. July 22nd, the minecart dupe is patched, and then July 24th, the Veterans raid Napkin of Truth space. On July 31st, Aria City is destroyed by its own members after its location is leaked. Asteroid is found by Lord Galvatron MC and J Monroe, a group which has at least one page of A4 of a history that I don't want to delve into. You can just Google it. This video is long enough. The Vortex Coalition declared war on Imperium, starting the Voperium War, which ended in June 2019. That's almost 2 years. This is some literal Microsoft. What the fuck? On the 22nd of December, the Mice X Highway is finished, and the group Armorsmith's followers is found by Armorsmith, with the intent that the group worshipped Armorsmith, and the logo is designed by Armorsmith. It's just the communism logo in black and white and made of blocks. Am I going insane? Have I been going... Have I been... Question 1. What is your name / username, Discord or Minecraft? What 2b2t group are you from? And how long have you been playing on the server for? My username is NinjaFig on both. Bachibachbach, Bookhood, 4 years. IPS21 is my in-game name. Peanuts #6969 is a Discord tag. I'm in Dunfer, Imperium, SBA, Eclipse and Supervillains. I've been playing 2b for a year and a half. Ski Hat Ducky, 2b2t.group and Mew Revolution. Since February-ish 2017, Boss on Top. I'm in Dunfer, Highland and Followers of the Crafting Table. Been playing for 1.5 years. Yo, I'm Grievous, long time 2b player here. I've been in 2 groups, both of which have fallen. The first one was called Columbus and the second was called the Pirates of the Sun. They were both small groups that I rose the ranks in quite quickly. Forsaken, unaffiliated, 2016. BGP2, 2b2t.group, played since June 2016. My username is FastVincent1, I've been playing 2b2t since late 2016, and was the owner of a group called Conquest. You can find more information about my story by watching my most recent video. In-game name, Cdara. I joined the server in 2014 but only played for 2 weeks. I rejoined it in 2019 and joined my first group in 2021, the Avalonian Republic. My name is Noctorin. I used to play my brother under the alias of the Face 022. The account has long since lost as my dad changed the name and we've got the info. I prefer not to answer. Question 2. What are your opinions on the general 2b2t community? 2b2t community is a mixed bag. You have good, bad, and in between. Too many people hating on each other or bullshit. Lately the server's been getting really f***ed with the mutes and prior bans. The community is stable. It's alright. Obviously you have your genuinely insufferable people every now and then, but overall the community is fairly tame. Over the years there's definitely been a lot more intergroup and public events. Fight Club is probably something you've already heard of. Unsurprisingly, there's a lot of dark humour and what I can best describe as image board tongue-in-cheek. Most of the community is chill except the new f***s. They can do some good, mostly bad though. It's not really my cup of tea. The 2b2t community is a shell of its former self. I think the general 2b2t community is very different compared to a few years ago. The current community is a lot less toxic. The 2b2t community is a fun community that gives me a lot of inspiration for my artwork. Sometimes they're a bit toxic, but I think they're funny. Just don't be dumb and you'll be good. 2b2t sucks big, and I loved it before the Russia shit died down because I love killing Russians. A lot of the community nowadays are kids who decide to join because of FitMC. Most of the other people who are in the server who don't fit in that bracket are neo-Nazis or bigots of some kind, hence why I avoid the community altogether. But some people are pretty cool, and while I never talk to them outside of 2b2t related things, they're fun to talk to. Question 3. What are your thoughts about the yearly April Fool's temporary maps? Question 4. Would you say neo-Nazis are a major problem on the server? Neo-Nazis are on Tube2T, however saying that they are on many different servers and communities. However, it's not a major problem on Tube2T. Most neo-Nazis who aren't just kids being edgy are basically blocked from most groups, if nearly every, so they aren't really a problem, and there aren't even that many of them either. I think I've only heard about 2 legit neo-Nazis and that's about it. I don't think so. The only people that build pinwheels on 2B are 14-year-old edgelords. No, not really. If your video is on some cult hitting a video stuff, well then, I hate to disappoint you, but no. If there's some group of people with genuine malicious intent, someone would already be talking about it and I've heard nothing about it. There are no neo-Nazis. I wouldn't, it's just mainly trolls who are trying to get reaction out of new players, but sometimes you get the people who are actually neo-Nazis. No, there are a few neo-Nazis, 90% of players are 9-year-olds trolling in chat. I would say any kind of group like that is a major problem anywhere. I don't usually see Nazi people on 2b2t honestly. They love building the cross, but most of the time they take that as a joke. Even if it wasn't a good moment of the world history, I don't really take them seriously. I don't give a fuck about neo-Nazis because I know damn well 3/4 of them would get smacked by their mummies if they got caught acting like one. Kinda? They're not a problem necessarily. They're there because of the lack of rules, which is the server's big appeal. So fixing the problem will be ruining the server, nothing to do but ignore them. Question 5. I've heard doxing is a major problem on 2b2t, do you think this is true? Question 6. What's your main experiences with 2b2t? My main experiences on 2b2t is talking to friends I've made along the way and just chilling with them. Also projects, building, trolling and drama. I'm a stash hunter and builder. Used to do PvP but find it boring now. I mainly do projects that spawn or build bases. For most of my time on 2b2t I've played alone, usually building or look around spawn. It wasn't until 2019 that I based with someone, and then not until 2020 where I joined my first group. Even though I'm generally not the most active in events and other stuff, most of my time on the server now is usually building and talking in chat. You'll know when I'm on just by looking at the chat. Building. I used to help groups, now I'm more of a nomad. I head to and explore ruins of once great bases. Organising events, doing projects, building bases. Bad. Check my 2b2t has been found video. I've done a lot of things on 2b. I explored the server by horse, adopted a dog, drew people, shared a 2b2t newspaper and joined a good build group. My main experience is helping out new players and then crushing them. I also raided a few vet stashes, I was like 11. Honestly, as I never interact with the community, my main experiences have been in the server itself, where I usually explore near or around the spawn. However, I do interact with the community on rare occasions as I do 2b2t related art. Question 6.1. What is your best experience on 2b2t? My best experience on the server is multiple experiences, that being me just meeting really cool people and chill people along the way. Finding a couple gems in this community that I consider my friends for years now that I can enjoy playing online with. Doing spawn projects and PvPing with groups, also finding fat stashes. 2019 is easily the most batshit crazy year for the server. Players with God mode and complete invisibility. Groups Vulcan and Pyrian have one lost sissy fit in an attempt to stay relevant. Etika, not going to do about that, but let's just say people stop spamming the N-word as much after it. I chose to spend this time messing around at spawn, and my proudest shitpost server, a 40x40 chessboard at 0-0. I forced new players to play against me for bread or death. Very fun. Building up big ass bases. Probably just having fun with my friends on 2b, so it's funny to have the narrator read the chat. Doing projects. Getting banned 10 times in one day. My best experience is building my base with my friends and exploring spawns for the first time. My best experience on 2v2t? Probably all the time passed with my friends building. 2v2t isn't worth it if you're alone, but when you have your group with projects, that's the best server. My best experience is probably me rebuilding 700 base, very based base by the way. I have a couple outside the server, I have a few art commissions I got from players on the server, one of which was a pretty well known player which was neat. Actually in the server though, I have a lot of great memories of on the server, it's really hard to pick one specific one. I've been to a lot of cool places, I found a lot of cool items. I think my favourite place I've been to though was a base I'd seen in passing in a video once, and dreamed about several times after. I was able to locate the base and visit it myself, which was an insane experience. Question 6.2. What is your worst or strangest experience in 2v2t? My worst experience is having to deal with pedophiles. It's very rare to come across one, but like any community there are pedophiles lurking, and exposing them is always great, but coming across them makes me sick to know they're lurking around. Whether or not many pedophiles are all in the server, as the community will bully them out. People swatting or calling the police on each other. I haven't had any really strange experiences really. I've never really been ratted or doxed or anything like that. Maybe my stash is getting grief, but that's about it. I'm a very chill player and I don't like to get involved in block game drama. I don't really have a worse experience, but I had this base that lasted from 2019 to 2021, and within that time frame at least 26 different people found the base, but didn't grief it. Well, after lots of people find it, straight up started to expand the base thinking that it was abandoned. I am now making my current base with that person. No strange experiences, it's a normal Minecraft server. The worst thing I've ever seen is stumbling upon a neo-Nazi base while searching for bases, also being given map art that I burned quickly. Dealing with Hausmaster, getting all my accounts private with no comment from House. Once met a girl sent me return for items. I don't really remember any strange occurrences on 2v2t, but from making videos I would say the Phantom Zone is a weird bug that was never explained. My worst experience would probably be players that I knew from the server no longer playing. I guess that's a sad fault more than a bad experience though. All I had is a good time. I never take seriously a block game for kids. I'm a girl. Send your video, I'm a girl. Lol. My worst experience was meeting Nichols444, someone who made fun of my dead sister. Again, I've had a lot of bad and strange experiences on the server, so it's pretty hard to pick one specific one. My worst experience was losing my base, but that one's boring so I won't explain it. At one point I was travelling to a nether right by spawn with nothing on me. I do sometimes, it's just fun to me, and got caught in a portal trap. Obviously there were like 10 people in full gear in front of me that broke the portal, but trapped me in a 2x1 box, and some of them kept shifting me and stuff, and coming up to me to check on me every so often. And then they started to fight each other with ender crystals, so I have no idea what was going on there. I ended up just breaking the obsidian and throwing myself into lava. The other experience was in the end, there was a small build I wanted to look at and had wanted to visit for a while. Me and my friend made the walk there and the build was just gone. Even the huge pool of water that stretched out for thousands of blocks was gone. It was just pretty eerie, having the whole thing be gone as if it were just wild edited out, but it probably wasn't. Hi, welcome to the end of part 1. I'm going to upload part 2 at some point, but please be patient. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible, and I said I've spent so long on part 1, I might as well just upload it now and then I'll upload the rest later. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed.